All right. Morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, hold up. Let me look at this right here. Take a look at this 2693. This behavior needs to check up from the neck up. Yes, it does. Ugh. The way this thing moving, it make you throw up in your mouth. Make you throw up in your mouth. What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Let's see who's on here. What's up, Joshua? What's up, Stacy? Bensky, what's good? Hamaku, what's happening? What's up, Eric Jones? Alright, cool. Yeah, this market, it was looking a little promising a little earlier, and market just decided to dip. Just dip on you. Started doing all of this other stuff it's doing now. Danny, what's happening? What's going on, my man? Oh, there's Juan right there. Okay, cool. Let me connect with Juan real quick. Oh, excuse me. Wait, why is it saying that? All right, so it seemed like this morning we had two MRMHs. Did we have two? It seemed like we had two. It seemed like I posted that twice. I honestly don't even remember now. I know that there was one a little while ago, but it seemed like there was one earlier than that, like this morning, like around 10 something. Who's on? Is Joshua on here? If he's on there, he'll let me know. Cause I forgot. I thought I could have sworn that we had two MRMHs today. Okay. Right. The first one, I think with the first one, there was speed. Right? Towards the end of the binary. And then on the second one also had some acceleration in it. But I think the second one looked much better than the first one. But we just didn't have no follow through. Got you. Okay. So yeah, so the first one was real early then, 8 o'clock. Damn. I was up that early? I forgot all about it. Let me go right back. I usually don't do this. I don't scroll. But I scroll back, see something real quick. Okay, so the second one was 10:15. And first one was 8 o'clock. Yeah, okay. So 8 o'clock, speed is present. Timing of the speed took place after the setup was validated. The speed is hiding in the behavior. Okay. All right. Trying to establish a timeline in my head for what this market is actually up to today. So So at this very moment, it looks like the transition into the next speed cycle already took place. That's why it's moving fast now. So it's sped up, and I think it also affected the behavior. Definitely affected the behavior. So really just want to see a good environment first. Like, you know, I want to see the environment that just remains there, and then the behavior starts to shape up, and then the market ultimately makes its way to becoming in sync at some point. But it's, you know, you won't see that if the market just continues to cycle in and out. And I think that that's what we've been seeing. We definitely have seen that today. But I think that as of recently, we've been seeing that more so than anything else, where the cycling in and out is happening more often. And that's why when we get, you know, if we get an MRMH, it's like it don't last. And it's really because of the environment in the market. The speed in the market is also showing even more now because of the fact that we understand behavior. So like there's even more depth to speed. Like I'm not even going to talk about it yet. I think I'm going to save that for training. But there's even more depth to speed. And it's like, well, damn, how, you know, I know you be just wondering like, well, how far, how long, how deep does it go? It goes, I don't think that there is a limitation to how deep this goes as far as understanding the market. The more that you observe, the more that you begin to detect certain activity, and then you can define it after a while, because the market actually shows that to you repeatedly. And I think that that's where we are right now. Another thing too about that is the market, when it reveals information to you, that information is relevant for the time being, right? And once the market decides to do something else, then whatever the something else is, that'll be relevant for the time being. So it's like it just keeps hopping to the next piece of information that you can gain the benefit of knowing. But you can only pick up on it if you study often enough, and you're just in a constant observation mode. That's why I see everything. Like personally, I always see everything that's going on. And then when I can actually describe it and then put it in context so that someone else can understand it, it's like it expands your actual knowledge base of the market, and it gets you even sharper and better at becoming more precise with timing. Because that's all, like, if you just had to define, like, what the hell is it that we actually do? If somebody asks you, well, what do you do in the market? Like, what do you mean behavior, environment? Like, what does all that mean? What's up, Shorty? What's up, Jay Carly? Like, what does all of that shit even mean? If you had to just define it, like, and put it in one thing, it's timing. Because of what we trade, because we trade in the binaries on NADEX, everything is about timing. Everything. So even when you start to understand the dynamic of the market and how the market moves, the only reason that that's important to us is because it relates to the timing of when we're going to take the trade. Or let me not even say that, because that's not true. It's not the timing of when we're going to take the trade. It's the timing of when a profitable trade is presented. And then we want to take whatever that is. Like, does that make sense? So it's kind of like how, did y'all notice this week I started talking more so about changing the way that you say certain things, and the reason that I even say that is because what you say is showing what you understand about something or what you don't understand. So when somebody says to me, yeah, I want to be able to pick a good trade, I already know that you don't know nothing about the market, because, and it's not your fault, but I'm just saying, as far as your comprehension of what's actually going on, you don't pick a good trade, because what you think is a good trade could be a good trade, but that's as far as that goes. You can pick a good trade at the wrong time and lose. You see what I'm saying? So that's the part that people miss. So that's why if someone says, yeah, I need to pick some good trades, it's not that you want to pick good trades. What you're really trying to do is you're trying to get precise with timing, because timing equates to winning. The correct timing in a trade is the difference between you winning and losing the trade. Period. So with that being the case, you always got to be doing something that's relevant to being precise with timing. Period. If you're not doing that, you're going to lose trades, because your timing, you're going to get caught off. You're going to get caught off guard. The market's going to catch you out there, and your timing is going to be off. And you could have took a beautiful trade. You know what I'm talking about. You'll see a trade set up. Everything looks nice. Now, remember, we're dealing with time. What if everything looks nice for the first 35 seconds of the final minute of the trade? Looks beautiful. And in the last 25 seconds, shit just start happening. And it's like, damn, what happened? What's going on? Trade set up nice. Everything was nice. You got a beautiful entry. You feeling so good about the trade. And then the market decides to do some whole other shit. And it's like, what was that? Like, you just kind of just be there stuck on stupid, because you're like, I don't understand what just happened. And that's what I mean about the timing. Like, everything boils down to timing. So it doesn't matter about a good trade. That's not the relevant part of what you're actually studying. You're studying the environment and the way that the price moves that creates a good time to trade. You're following me, right? You want to know when in the market is a good time to trade, not the best time of the day. That's not what I'm saying. You know how people will ask that, of course. Hey, Mark, when's the best time of the day, to take trades and be profitable? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the best time, as in the best timing. When the behavior and the market environment are synchronized together, it creates the best timing. So now, either the market gives you a good trade during that time, or it does not. And that's what we're dealing with. And that's why people can't catch it. People can't catch that. Even if they catch bits and pieces of what it is that we do, they might be, you might get good at picking out a good trade, quote unquote. But you'll get, fire slapped out of you because you picked a good trade, but your timing was off. And it's like, if you're not good at detecting what you should be seeing when good timing is present, then that's when you'll get caught up, because you don't know what that actually looks like. You're thinking that it's one thing, and then you get frustrated because you felt like you selected a good trade. And you may have selected a good actual trade that's set up. I'm not saying that that's not the case. But what is the case, what's up, Jelani? What is the case is that you selected that good trade, but your timing was off and you didn't know it. You didn't know it. Which now puts you in a different situation because you're like, whoa, wait. Why did that trade not win? And you're trying to dissect what you did wrong in the trade. You're looking at the trade. Oh man, I can't see nothing I did wrong. I don't see nothing that was wrong with the trade. It wasn't the trade. It was your timing in the market. See, like this shit, this shit gets so deep that I know that people be confused. They just be dumbfounded by what goes on. This is why people can't win consistently, because they're busy trying to trade while the market is doing shit. They are trying to trade while the market is doing all type of shit. And if you do that, and that's where your primary focus is, you always focusing on trade selection. You're not focusing on market environment and behavior. That's why your timing is off. And that's why you get your ass busted. That's what happens, man. That's what goes on, man. Shit is crazy. Jay Carly said, or you didn't follow what you were taught, which never fails. Bingo. And what Jay Carly is actually talking about specifically, there was a time when we didn't have like MRMH. We didn't have all of the elements of the way that the protocol is set up now. We didn't have it. And what I mean by that is that I wasn't able to communicate it yet. The way that I would describe what that is now, I used to say, you have to feel the market. That's what I used to say. When I used to say that, what I was talking about is what MRMH is now. What MRMH actually does for you is the equivalent of when I used to say you got to feel the market. So if you just knew just the parameters, for example, by itself, you would be feeling the market prior to actually applying the parameters. You see what I'm saying? Because you would have to be so good at applying the parameters and be so strict with the parameters that anything that's off, the parameters pick up on it and you disqualify the trade. This is what we used to do before. One of the exercises that we used to do, we used to DQ every trade. We used to look at every binary. And we used to, disqualify until you can't disqualify no more. That used to be the exercise. Just keep doing DQing everything until you can't. When you can't DQ it, that's going to be the trade. That was another exercise that would lead you into everything that MRMH does now. Because when you go through doing that process, you're looking at all of the things that are DQing trades. So you can see for yourself, you're like, all right, on that one, boom, way too fast. That one way too fast too. Look at what I just said, way too fast. So what is disqualifying the trade if you're applying parameters and you're saying it's way too fast? Speed. So if that's the case, then you know that there's speed present in the market, right? So intuitively, you already know that it's going to be a DQ if the market's moving fast. That's why when you do the protocol now and you just follow it along through the phases prevent you from being preempted into applying the parameters when you don't need to, and you don't even have to spend time doing that. All you need to do is look and see, is it too fast? Yes, it's too fast. All right. Next one. Is it still too fast? Yes, it's still too fast. All right, next one. Is it still too fast? It's slowing down, but it's too fast. Next one. Mind you, you in the first phase. You in phase 1 doing that. You're not applying parameters. You don't have to. Like, you understand what I'm saying? You're not applying the parameters. You don't have to. What you're actually doing is you're waiting for the environment to be in position. You're waiting for the environment to position itself first. Because you know that what I just said a minute ago about timing, environment and behavior is what gives you good timing. So if your environment ain't there, you can't have good timing. Let me see what Jelani said. He said, I think people underestimate the timing of the behavior. That is something you have to learn through study and observation and take the time to grasp it. Yep. All day. Look at how ill it gets. Let me see what Jelani said. He said, I noticed that when I was on demo, but I couldn't put a finger on what it was. I'm telling you, man, it's so deep. It just keeps getting deeper. Like, because we keep getting further and further into the abyss of the knowledge. And that's why we're becoming aware of more. It's just like, I mean, think about it like the ocean. When you sitting on top of the water, you don't see nothing in the ocean. If you just stick your head under the water, you start to see a little bit of stuff. You can see whatever's around you on the surface, like kind of up high in the water. If you dive into the water, I'm talking about the ocean. You dive into the water in the ocean, it's very scary because you actually start to see a bunch of stuff. And then at the same time, if you keep looking, it's dark. So you don't see stuff. You got to keep going deeper. The deeper you dive down into the ocean, like just imagine like if you were in a like a diving thing, like you know that it's like a little pod, like a little it's like a little spaceship that goes into that they be using for exploration. Imagine you inside of that, just going deep into the ocean, and you keep going until you get like, you know, near the bottom of where you at right now in the ocean. You're not in the deepest part of the ocean, but you're in a place where it's deep, and you go to the bottom. And then when you get on the bottom, you was already seeing mad shit on the way down. Then on the bottom, you see more shit. It's creatures crawling on the bottom of the ocean. Creatures you never saw before that was there the whole time. That's what it's like. That's why I call it the abyss. Because the deeper that you go into this and you observe, and it's the same thing. When you're in that pod looking and exploring, that's why they call it exploration. Because you're looking. You don't know what's there. You just looking. You're seeing what's there because you're looking. You're like, oh shit, you saw that? What was that? What is that? I don't even know what that is. It looked like a crab, but it ain't a crab. It's something else. It looked like a spider and a crab together. Like you're trying to make sense out of what you're looking at. So it's the same principle here. Like that's a good analogy right there to use, because that's the exact same thing that we're doing with this. The more that we go into this, you start to pick up on stuff that the market does, and it's stuff that no one else understands. You get it because you're good at observation now. You're good at the study process, so you're picking up on stuff. It's like it's never cut and dry. You know how people be like, oh, well, you're either going to win or you're going to lose. You're right. You are going to win or you're going to lose. But if our goal is to only win trades, then we're getting better at understanding the timing so that we can win the trades. You see what I'm saying? That's what all of it does. And I was about to say something about timing in particular. It might come back to me. But it had to do with the timing of the behavior. You ever see when you're looking at the market and the market is moving and then it's pausing in between moves. It'll move, pause, move, pause, move. And it's doing this within a minute, like within one candle or whatever you want to call it. It's doing that within that minute, within that period of time. And you're just looking like, okay. It's moving, pausing, moving, pausing. And then there are instances where you see that type of movement, and then sometimes you'll see at the very end, like within seconds, it'll do one last move, but the move won't be in the same direction as where it was moving the whole time. Like it could have been going down, move, pause, move, pause, move, pause. And then at the end, it does another move. But the move is back. It's not down, it's up. And it's like, what was that? Now listen to how I described the movement. The behavior is move, pause. Does that make you, like, you follow me, right? It did move, pause all the way until the end. The last move was just like the first move, but it was the opposite direction this time. So look at how behavior correlates also with direction as far as you isolating whether or not the movement is stable. Because stability is more so focusing on, all right, if you're going that way, then stability would be continuous movement in that direction. In other words, wherever that's going, the continuity is taking place there. It's not showing instability. Instability would be indecision. Like, oh, I think I want to go. No, I want to come this way. I want to go left. Nah, I think I'm gonna go right. It's not doing that. It's just continuous. No, I'm going left. And then I'm going left slow. Or I'm a jog and go left. Or I'm running and I'm going left. But you see the behavior is the same. Left. So like, it's so crazy how when you dissect the way that behavior actually is shown to you, you pick up on all of this type of behavior in the market. And there's so many of them. But now, mind you, you always know what stability looks like versus instability. You know what that looks like. And the reason that stability is so important is because stability will bring you into the correct timing in the market. Every time. The same way instability throws your timing off. So that's two things that alone, just knowing that, has already given you the advantage, because now you just know to simply wait for the scenarios in the market where the behavior and the environment are cohesive. You know that slow behavior, not slow behavior, excuse me, a slow environment and good behavior, when they're cohesive, it produces that stability that I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? And you know what it looks like. Even though it might manifest in different ways. Overall, you know exactly what that looks like. And because you know what that looks like, you also know when you're not seeing it. That's why people get thrown off, and that's why they'll get thirsty, because they're looking and they're like, is this it? Now they're second guessing themselves because it's showing you a nuance. The nuance is what I was just describing as far as left. It's left, but it could be running, jogging, walking, skipping. You see what I'm saying? All of these different behaviors inside of one behavior. It's going left, so there's stability there, but the way that it's actually being shown to you is different. It's different things that you see. So the observation process is what makes you good at it. And the fact that you can always do that automatically gives you the edge over everybody else, because nobody else is doing that. Like nobody is studying to that degree where they're actually picking up on the actual behavior of the market now. Like, oh snap, I understand what this is. I definitely see this. I've seen this many times. Let me see if it actually follows through what I'm thinking it is. And then it doesn't. You're like, yeah, yep, I know what that's like. Oh, we definitely can't trade because what we're looking for is not going to come when that happens. You see what I'm saying? It's just like how the market, you know that you got to wait for the market to get in position. People don't understand that. They don't understand that you have to wait for that. They're thinking that you can just take a trade. Oh, let me find a good trade. You found a good trade, but your timing is off. Your timing is off and you about to get slapped now. And you're going to get slapped when you least expect it. At the end. Get punched all in your face at the end of it. Let me check this thing out right here. What the hell? All right. Adam, what's good? Yeah, shorty. I forgot what I was calling it, but yeah, it's like a little mini submarine. Yes. Jelani said, I used to dive in the water looking for the bottom. Now I observe everything around me on my way to the bottom, but I'm no longer looking for the bottom. Jelani got it. He got it. He picked up on that right there. He picked up on it, definitely. Very interesting stuff, man. See, and this is why people be so confused by me. You know, when they see me trade and they're asking me questions, I always give the answer to the question. But it's not just about receiving the answer to your question. Because what you're really asking is, how can I win, but at the same time, I want to win big? This is probably the biggest question that people have in their head, that they have a hard time getting the question out because they don't understand how to connect this skill to the results that they see. Like when I trade, for example, there's a disconnect to them. They don't understand the relationship between your skill set and money. So they can't comprehend the idea of starting at like the $100 level, just for example. And the reason that I'm talking about this is because this has a lot to do with the patience part and like the personal mindset stuff that you got to do and that you got to work on, just so that you're prepared to deal with the market. To see, like, dealing with the market really just means learning how to observe. That's what it really means. People don't want to do that. I'm realizing this now. And I've been spending a lot of time trying to understand why. I'm like, why wouldn't you want to actually understand the market so that you would be able to possess the skill that allows you to generate your own paycheck and do what you want to do in life? Because if you can create your own paycheck, you can do whatever you want to. Like, I really don't think that people understand that. And this is what I'm saying about the disconnect. There's a disconnect mentally that people have, and they don't make the connection between the skill and the money part. They separate them. So what I'm getting at is, like, you take somebody that is watching videos, for example. They're looking at videos and they're seeing me take trades, whatever the case may be, right? They are, in their mind, more focused on the trade. Like, they look at the trade. What do I always say to look at? I say to look at the market. See, and that's what I'm realizing is the disconnect. So that's why I'm like, well, why wouldn't somebody want to actually have the skill? The skill is what gets you to the money. And there's a disconnect there. That disconnect for the average person is that in their mind, they're separating the money part from the skill. They don't understand that the trade is just how you collect in the right market environment with the right behavior present. You see what I'm saying? Like it's making more sense to me now, because I'm like, wait, there's something that I'm missing, maybe, that I'm not understanding about how most people are thinking about it. And that's what it is. I know that for a fact now, just from how people talk. What did I say earlier? What is somebody going to ask? How can I pick good trades? They're not saying, well, how can I learn how to recognize the right environment so I can get to the money? That's the disconnect right there. They don't look at trading as putting yourself in position to collect money. They look at trading as picking trades. And that's what I'm understanding now. That's why I talk the way now more so than ever. The way that I talk about things now, I say things on purpose to try to trigger little things to try to move that thought process over to this side, so that you get away from thinking in terms of trades. People always just think about, oh, well, all I need is some good trades. It's the same reason why people buy signals. What are you buying signals for? Because you're trying to get to good trades. That's why you're doing it. And I understand that. I get that. But look at how much more valuable it is to actually have skill in the market, to be able to navigate the market on your own, to know that now is not a good time to be in a trade, whether it's a good trade or a shitty trade. It's not a good time right now to be in the market. What if you knew that? What if you became good at timing in the market to know when is a good time to be present and a good time not to be present? What if that is what your skill set actually is? Shit get blown out the frame. And that's where we're going on Team Alliance. That's where we're going. You guys are moving away from thinking in terms of picking trades or getting a trade. I ain't getting no trade today. Dang, I ain't get a trade in 2 weeks. Don't even think about the trades. I want you to in your mind, if let's say over the whole week, take a week, a block of a week. Over the week, ask yourself, what did I see in the market, and what did I learn about the market that I didn't know already? Start asking yourself them questions. What did I see in the market, first of all? And what did I learn about the market that I didn't know last week? And then when you do that, you'll realize how much you've elevated. And I'm telling you, you don't realize how good you're getting at what counts. It's not about you picking trades. There's trades everywhere. It's a trade every 5 minutes. You can trade every 5 minutes if you want to, all day, every day. You can do that. Is that going to equate to you being able to win consistently? The only purpose of you wanting to win consistently is so that you can give maximum value to your trade. Or am I right? Like, we've established that at this point. The Blueprint Project is not to be played with. Look at how many levels of understanding that it's opening up. It's opening up the idea of giving value to your trades. This way, you're not even interested in trying to trade 4 or 5 times in a day. You're looking at the span of being able to trade and to know that you're going to win and to know why you're winning. So that 30 trades for you can represent going from 100 to a full-time income into the growth phase. Over 30 trades. This is where I'm going with it. Like, this is what the Blueprint Project is. Blueprint Project, the growth phase in the Blueprint Project was 29 trades. 29 trades, the account went from $100 to over $3,000, to like $3,200 and change. Okay? Shifted right to the income phase at the end of the growth phase. Now you're in the income phase. Let's continue to do what we was doing in the growth phase. Well, what were we doing in the growth phase? Were we picking trades? No. Were we waiting for the market to just present the right environment, the right behavior? And then when the trade comes, bang? Yeah. Oh, so let's keep doing that. Okay. And here we are in the income phase doing the same shit. Same thing that we was doing before. Now you're doing it, and now you're reaping the benefit and the money, the cash, the paycheck part of what you're doing as far as your skill goes. You see how intricate the blueprint is? When you actually look at what it's allowing you to do, it's allowing you to put everything that you're doing into an actual perspective that you can comprehend and that you can actually do, and you understand why. You know why. So this is why, like, people don't appreciate the part that gets you there, because they just want to get there. They don't want to do what it takes to get there. They just want to be there now. Oh, I want to be in the income phase right now. Man, I sure could use $3,000 a week. I'm sure that everybody could use $3,000 a week. But it's not even like that's unrealistic. That's what you should do. You're taking trades still. You scared to trade. There's a disconnect there. Why are you scared? Why are you scared to take the trade when the trade comes? What are you scared of? Like, you see how many, there's so many layers to it, and that's what the process of how we train, it breaks everything down. It breaks it down. It strips you and breaks you apart. You got to be broken apart so that when you're built back, you're built solid, like a truck. You hit into something, instead of you crashing and you having all the damage done to you, you're going to damage whatever you hit. Whatever you run into, you're going to cause damage to. You're not going to be the one that's damaged from that. That's a truck. If a truck hit a car, the car's tow up. It's a truck. You are that truck that's being built. So I don't even know how I start talking about all this shit. Yeah, I have no idea how any of this comes up. It just be coming out of nowhere. What's up, Andrew? Jay Carly said, let's put that in perspective. My challenge was 43 days, 36 trades, and 100 to 1,010. Yep. So you hit the income phase in less time, less trades, and you actually slowed it down. That's what I'm talking about. You see, and I'm actually glad that she pointed that out, because you actually have something to compare it to. When she was doing her challenge, she took more trades in her challenge than I did in the blueprint, and she went from 100 to 1,000. So, like, again, it's about, like, giving the maximum value to the trades, not being scared to trade. All of these different elements combined together. Look at how you are able to exacerbate what you're doing, and you're actually doing less than you were doing before, but it means more. Like, that's retarded. That is retarded. But that's what's going to happen. Shorty said that's another thing to master, emotions and skill. I'm telling yo, see, like, and that's why it goes so deep, because these are all the layers that you have to deal with on the path to where we're going. But you have everything, you have all the tools that you need to deal with everything. There's nothing that you don't have. You got it all. You already have it. And that's what I want you guys to remember all the time, especially if you ever, are feeling like you're not getting it, or you get discouraged, or, you took a trade you wasn't supposed to take, right? You try to challenge yourself, whatever. Like, you know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's a lot of shit that we do. A lot of stuff that we do, man. And it's just like a child. Kids don't really know shit. They figuring it out as we go along. Even when you tell them, they still gonna try dumb shit. Who that sound like? But the thing about it is that the bottom line is you're gonna get to where you need to get to by just refusing to give up on yourself. That's the key. Just not like you never give up on yourself ever. How could you do that? You can't get rid of yourself. How you gonna give up on yourself? It's just like people say, "Oh man, this ain't working for me. I'ma quit." What are you actually quitting? And when you actually think about that, the moment somebody says that, what they're doing is they're giving up on what is actually about to elevate them to another level. Because if they stuck with whatever that thing is, it's going to bring them up. But they're giving up on the process of having to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it yet. They just don't want to deal with it. But the thing about it is that you're going to still have to deal with it. Maybe not now. All you're doing is kicking the can. You pushing it back to a later point in time. You still going to have to deal with it. You think you never going to have to deal with yourself? Huh? Come on, man. You can't get away from yourself. How the hell you think you're going to be able to avoid dealing with yourself? Ain't no time like the present. So whatever it is that you need to deal with and you need to navigate your way through, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. For some of y'all, it's impatience. Some of you, it's no discipline yet. Some of you, the juice man is your man's in them. So the juice man be taking over. He body snatches you. I know what it is. Some of y'all get body snatched by the juice man. So I'm over here talking. I forgot all about wine. Damn, man. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Sorry, Juan. What's good, Adam? Oh, you went Starbucks with the jazz, huh? Jay Carly said, when people think that they should succeed in 6 months, no. 6 months was the amount of time they were willing to put in work. Amen to that. Amen to that. Yep. But I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all. Like, you guys are really in a good place right now. You really are. The fact that, you're training. You're watching. You don't even know why you keep watching 301. You don't even know why. If you're at the point where you're like, yo, I really don't even know why I keep watching it. I'm just watching because he said keep watching it. That's the best place that you could be. To do it and you don't know why you're doing it yet. That's an awesome place to be. Because what happens is when you transition into knowing why, you don't even know that you got there. One day you just know why. You be like, oh shit, I see now. Now I see why he says keep watching this. Yo. And it's like, it's mind blowing. Like your comprehension and your cognizance of everything opens up. And it's like, oh, this is why he said to keep watching it. You got to realize that when you train, the training process is dealing with you on the subconscious level, not just the conscious level. You hear it, but your subconscious is recording. Now, as your subconscious continues to record and record, you keep feeding the same thing all the time, over and over again, the subconscious actually begins to manifest now. It begins to take what you're giving to it and it begins to make it work. That's where at some point, the aha moment comes. It didn't happen just because it was random. It happened because you repeatedly kept pressing play and watching the training, listening to the training, going to sleep, listening to the training, wake up, listen. Your subconscious is at work. This is why I said, even if you don't know why you're doing it yet, just do it. Just do it. There's people that they be talking about how, like their family members get mad at them because they're always training. Like they get in trouble. And I'm like, if you're not getting in trouble, you ain't training enough. You should be getting in trouble. Your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, kids, they should all be mad at you. And I'm telling you why. Because you're going to train to the point where the day comes that you get it, and then your execution is automatic because it's subconscious. You're not even thinking about it anymore. You just know. When you elevate from trying to figure it out to knowing, man, listen. It's a remarkable place to be, I'm telling you. Damn, Mark, how'd you know not to take that trade? Keep training. You'll understand. Ooh, somebody got slapped on that one. Damn. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't take that one. The day gonna come where you gonna be like, shit, I wasn't thinking about taking that. You see the difference? Look at what I just described. And this is how I be knowing who is at that level. When I'm watching the group chat, sometimes I just watch to see what people say. Sometimes people be like, damn, I almost took that one. And if you're saying that, it's you. If you're saying I almost took that one, and when we talk about it, we're like, yeah, we know somebody gonna get slapped on that one. It's not that it's different. You're a part of the process already, but you're dealing with the levels of yourself that you don't necessarily always have awareness of. You're not always awake. Sometimes you sleep on yourself, so you don't know that you do certain things yet, but it comes out. It comes out. So when you begin to realize, like, wait, why would I want to take that trade? Maybe I need to, let me go back 301 again. And then boom, right back to training. And then because you're in that moment at that point in time, you play the training and you hear some shit that brings you right to where you need to go. You're like, oh my goodness. I was being thirsty. And then the connection happens. Boom. And things change. And then it just keeps going. Yo, I'm telling you. And this is all the stuff that happens before you trade. Like, you shouldn't even be trading yet. This is the training process. Training is the first part of the blueprint. That's the first thing that you do. You don't start with $100 first. No, you train first. Yo, this is remarkable stuff. Like, it really is. It really is. All jokes aside. Like, to me, this feels like being like in an extraordinary college. That's what this feels like to me. Like being in the best college. Let me see something. Adam said this whole timing process has changed everything for me. He said, don't worry, they're mad at me. Why do you think I'm at Starbucks right now? Right, you in there trying to get away, so you don't get all yelled at while you trying. Oh man, he said she told me to turn you off, so I told her to turn herself off. He said I didn't say that, but I wanted to. I know that's what you was thinking, right? Shit, you better not say that. I gotta add a disclaimer. Be like, I'm not responsible for the shit that you say to your wife or your girlfriend. Stacy said, yeah, but you don't get in trouble when you training on that 9 to 5. Professional observer. Yup. That's what it is right there. Yeah, this is good, man. This is good. This is good stuff. This laptop, this thing's charged all the way up now, so we're good. All right. Market is in transition. It is in transition. Mm-hmm.